It says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Hey, folks, we're a whole 2 minutes early because we got 10 people waiting. So,
God, no kidding. Holy gods.
in case you were wondering what I was talking about, Southwest Airlines made a hard landing at Orange County,
Yard dart.
better known as John Wayne, which is a very short commercial runway. It's only 5,900 feet long. And they broke the flight attendant's back that was in the aft of the cabin sitting on the jump seat.
Wow. That's a hell of a hard landing.
Yeah.
They claim it was firm.
Firm my dying ass. That was a hard landing. And apparently the Southwest Airlines is making no statements. The FAA has quote unquote investigated and nothing has been said. But I'm wondering.
It's the FFA. It's going to take them a year to issue a statement.
FAA, not FFA.
FAA.
You said FFA.
Yeah, okay. It's still going to take them a year to issue a statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
The place now bit you.
Yeah.
Hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly. And everybody else. Oh, that reminds me of a funny landing story. I was out in Hawaii. Nancy, you should know where those are. Anyway, I was out in Honolulu, and one of our carriers was coming back off deployment. And so I was sitting up in the lounge watching the airplanes land. And I'm watching the Air Force F-22s use the long runway and coast out all the way to the end.
Okay.
And I was screwing around, and I found the Tower Freak on my phone. So I'm sitting there listening. And yeah, Rick, it's an odd profile going in there. And I hear a flight of F-18s coming in off the carrier. And they took the short runway, which is
it's longer than the carrier.
Oh yeah, much longer than the carrier. And we'll get there, Carlton.
Briefly, because
yeah. So
we're trying to be cheerful and fun, and I ain't cheerful nor fun.
Yeah. So, I'm watching these 4 F-18s, and they've got missiles hanging on the wings, because they're coming off combat patrol. So they're turning the corner to go down in front of Honolulu International Terminal to go back down to pick them.
Okay.
Because the short runway ends, dumps them out right there in front of the terminal. Now, the jets, commercial jets, always rush to get to the throat, get on the taxiway, get out. So I'm sitting there listening, and I hear ground clear somebody. And the pilot comes back and says, yeah, I'll let these F-18s go by. They got missiles. And I don't want, no, I'm not pulling out in front of them. No, wait.
A wedding shirt?
Actually, Rick, they do have a resting gear at Hickam on both ends and on the short runway. Greetings, at least not garrotings. Yeah.
Yet.
Hey, Jay, good to see you.
My current rant is not about Mar-a-Lago, because honestly, that's a tempest in a teapot. It really is. My current rant is about the Department of Labor's opening discussion on a new rule that they would like to implement per the potato in chief. And this rule, basically, what they want to do is everybody familiar with AB 5 out of California? The California law that killed freelancers and the gig industry, because it made companies that hired freelancers had to treat them as employees. Well, the potato in chief's Department of Labor is wanting to do the same thing nationwide, and they're opening up some debate on these new rules. Hopefully, the Supreme Court's discussion on or ruling on executive branch rules will take effect here, because holy gods, they're wanting to make freelancers, if you're a 1099 freelancer and meet one of three conditions, you aren't a freelancer, you're an employee and must be treated as an employee. One of these, and you have to meet one out of the three. And B says that freelancers must do work outside the normal scope of the company or hiring person. Sounds kind of, innocent.
Yeah, right.
Okay. If I, as a starting small-time publisher, do a lot of anthologies, and I hire people, other authors, to provide a service, i.e. a story, that's not outside my normal scope of business. That is my normal scope of business. Therefore, under this proposed rule, all of those authors are now my employees. I got issues with this. I got major issues with this. And maybe I'm reading it wrong. But near as I can tell, the proposed rule, B, under A, B, and C, B says if the freelancers provide a service within the normal scope of your business, they're not freelancers, they're employees. Which means I'll have to pay all the taxes an employer would. That's the double tax rate. If I have above a certain number, I've got to provide health insurance. I can't do that, guys. I really can't do that. It's bad, and I lit up my congressman's office. I imagine he's tired of seeing emails from ian.mcmurtry@gmail.com. Actually, he's tired of seeing emails because just my first 3 books, I've got more than 20. I think the limit on employees is 25, right? If you have more than 25 employees, you must provide health insurance.
It's either 25 or 50, and I don't remember.
I think it's 25.
Yeah.
Just my first 3 books, I've got more than 25 authors. I can't provide health insurance to those guys. I really can't.
Yep. It's more control nonsense.
It
50.
is.
Okay.
Is it 50?
Yeah.
Well, I'll hit that in 6 anthologies.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky. If I'm not lucky, it'll be 4.
Yeah. The limited employment for 1099. Yeah. And the other thing that's interesting, and John kind of touched on it earlier, since she's impacted, is a costume designer. What about the musicians? What would that do to Nashville? What has that already done to the recording industry in LA?
But I can't. If I'm reading this right, and honest God, I may not be reading it right. I suspect I am. I may not be reading it right. But this is going to gut small presses. It really is. If you put out an anthology, and you're doing 10 to 12 authors per anthology, if I do minimum 10 authors per anthology, in 5 anthologies, if I don't double up, I've got 50 employees. Yeah.
The other problem with what you're suggesting, Nancy, is it's kind of hard to do that with books when you list the authors on the cover.
Yeah, I can't. I would love Fred take a big swig.
Yeah.
I would love to pay my authors cash on the barrelhead. I can't.
Yeah.
It's not with Amazon. It's just, you can't, everything you do through Amazon, and Amazon is the only way right now. I would like sometime in the future to figure out some way to publish without going through Amazon, but everything you do on Amazon is tracked. Every dollar you make or spend on Amazon is tracked. That's the way of it.
Yeah. $900 a year just to keep your corporation legal. Yeah. Yeah. Frank's got the day off. Fred's been plussed in for him.
Oh, Frank, they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Frank's probably down in Mar-a-Lago right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And that's another one, good one, David.
Oh,
independent truckers. Yeah, they're gone. Of course, California's already trying to run them out anyway.
Yeah, no, and they did run them out, as I can tell.
And now they are complaining because stuff's piling up on the docks in LA again. And guess who's coming up for a new contract?
Longshoreman?
Yep.
Oh, no.
And it's the entire West Coast.
I wish there was an easier way than to get through the China Straits. I'm sorry, the Panama Canal.
Panama Canal. All I can say is my work pay has all had a canoe accident.
For an economy that's in shambles, and honestly, the economy is in shambles. The federal government sure isn't doing anything to help us out.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of people who do gig stuff just do it on a cash basis, and nobody talks or does paperwork.
I wish I could, but through Amazon I can't.
Well, yeah, and that's the problem with writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stuck.
You're stuck. Yeah, I just, what money? Nobody pays me anything.
Yeah.
I'm living off the government dole.
Hey, I resemble that. I'm just waiting for them to start taking more of my money in taxes.
Oh, I may not look like it. I'm currently a retiree.
Yeah.
I'm getting my county retirement right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really nervous because I'm pretty sure that a whole bunch of, California, whole bunch of states that are underwater as far as their retirement programs are looking at other states' retirement programs going, we could.
Yeah.
That could help.
Jim or Jay, don't say that yet, because they are looking at taxing our VA benefits too. Yeah. Yeah, Deej. The problem with that is you got to start a store, and then you got to deal with a bank.
Is Rita on here somewhere?
She may be.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Rita. Speaking of Rita, for those of you who don't know, because I keep getting asked this question. One, Moggies in Space is a Rita venture. I don't know. I am hip deep in my own issues right now. Get a hold of Rita and or Courtney for questions about Moggies in Space. Second, what? Oh, Courtney will be here soon enough.
Yeah.
Moggie, Moggie, Moggie is a British word, British slang for a cat of indeterminate ancestry.
All cats.
Well, it started out as a cat of indeterminate. Moggie. It's not a Siamese. It's a Moggie. It's a mutt. So Moggies in Space is harking back to my roots. It's cats in space. Where do we find our email addresses? I forgot. I swear to God, I think I'm going to have to put Rita on, just add her as admin on my blog so she can answer these things. Yeah, cat version of mutt.
Yeah.
The pinky extended upper crust version of mutt for cats, because cats are friggin', they're special. So a Moggie is just a cat. Moggie is Scottish slang for a female of the human species. And we're just gonna let that one flop there on the table. All right.
All right, I'm going to switch gears momentarily. Get us the hell off of that before we go further down the rabbit. Haunted Library Anthology should be going live next week. The first version, the second one will go live roughly 30 days afterward. I talked to the lady at the library this morning. She has approved what we've got so far. She's happy with it. And so that, like I said, that should be hitting Amazon next week. It'll be the Kindle version first. Then we'll have to get proof copies before we can release the paperback. So the paperback will probably follow a week to 2 weeks later, depending. As far as mine, I'm at 56,000 words on my Western. The last snippet went up on my blog this morning. And some of the comments have been rather interesting because
You open the comment section, and then you read the comments. Never read the comments.
Well, that's how I get a lot of my editing done.
Well, you have sane commenters too.
Yeah. But Rio does not come out looking well or feeling well in this segment. He gets dumped.
You do that to your characters fairly often.
Yeah.
I think the only person that hates their characters more than you is Jim Butcher.
Yeah. Well, I only had him separate his shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I might have gotten an email about, damn, you seem to know an awful lot about that. Well, yeah, I've been there and done that 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only person that hates his characters more than Curtis is Jim Butcher.
Well, why write a character that's not going to be realistic?
Don't look at me. I'm the one that kills off my characters on a regular basis.
I know, but damn. I mean, really, if you're a reader, do you want to read something that's pure bullshit where the character never makes a mistake? They never make a mistake. I'm sorry. Yeah. George R. R. Martin kills that title.
Yeah, never mind.
And every decision they make is perfect. Yeah, cattle ranching is not a safe business. It never has been.
Last I checked, it was the late 90s. They had a cowboy get downstream of a stampede.
Yeah.
And it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, perfect characters are one, they're boring.
Yeah.
2, that'll make me wall a book almost as fast as the guns being wrong, which is another one of my pet peeves.
Duck.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Nancy.
The only thing George R. R. Martin hates more than his characters is his fans. I'm not sure he's got many fans left.
Yeah.
Between him and Patrick Rothfuss, it's a race for who hates his fans the worst.
Oh, Rothfuss, boy, he reeled it out and stomped on it again, but he got $700,000 out of his fans. I don't understand that. I really and truly don't. Yeah.
Why does it hurt so bad?
All he had to do was write a fucking chapter.
I know exactly where I know exactly what's happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happens to me, except I have got the guts to power through it.
Yeah.
He's all flanged up because he can't write perfect.
Yeah.
In his head, he can't write a story. What he's got in his head doesn't match what he believes the first 2. He said he thinks he can't write as good a story as the first 2, so he's flanged up.
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time.
Oh, the new Lord of the Rings BS on Amazon. Yeah,
There is no new Lord of the Rings on Amazon.
What would you call it then?
I don't know. I've heard there's some fan service on there, but it's not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well.
Nope.
Costume for Spotted Spirit Halloween.
Oh, God. Fan fiction for the woke crowds. Yeah.
I doubt they heard that, so I'm going to come over here
Yes.
and say it.
Rick would like you to repeat that, please.
All the costumes for Spotted Spirit Halloween. They're so bad.
Oh, this from the lady who actually knows what she's talking about.
Right. And that's the fun thing is anybody watching the reports about the coming backlash against wokeism?
I'm seeing some stuff, but
Oh yeah.
some people, they're I think they're living too far in the conspiracy world right now.
Oh yeah. That leads us to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
What's happened in Mar-a-Lago is clown shoes from the get-go. But I need somebody out there, somebody on my Facebook feed, please tell me how the hell what the Federal Bureau of Investigation has done yesterday is going to affect the midterms. This is it's all over Facebook. This is how they game the midterm. How the hell does this game the midterms? All it does is it definitely energizes Trump's side of the country. Talk about pissed. Woo! Definitely energizes Trump's side. The fence sitters that were neither left nor right, half of them are going, whoa, this is some banana republic bullshit. So they're headed right. It doesn't change anything on the left. Somebody said the Archangel Gabriel come down on high and say that Trump didn't do anything wrong, and they wouldn't believe it. So it doesn't change. Only thing it does, near as I can tell, is take that middle group that we're going to sway the election one way or another and push them right.
Yep. The other right.
Squirrels. Glow stick.
Yeah.
It's going to push them right. Okay. All right. So the FBI looks like a bunch of bumbling fools again. They look politicized again.
Or as some people are saying, weaponized.
Weaponized again.
Yeah.
All of this is a known quantity. I mean, the FBI has been the political arm of the Democratic Party since at least 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
2016.
2016. All right. Big whoop.
Actually, 2008. But
yeah.
Who's being picky?
I'm looking. My forecast is that the November elections were going to be a bloodbath anyway. They're going to be a lot worse now. And starting January, FBI is going to have some really interesting hot seat experiences with the House of Representatives.
Yeah. The other thing this does, you got to remember what the bottom line is. And that is that the left and the Dems are deathly afraid of Trump running again.
Yeah.
This is strictly my opinion. So take that for what it's worth. That and $2.50 might get you a cup of coffee some places. This is an attempt to get Trump tied up to the point that he cannot run because of legal issues. Because then they think they can win 2024.
Yeah, which is 2 years away. Yeah. I mean, you trust me, the man can afford lawyers. They're not going to tie him up for 2 years on this.
Yeah.
And even, okay, let's say.
Well, the other thing that came out this morning is DC Circuit has now said Trump has to release his tax returns. So that's taken, let me see, that started in 2016. So that was 6 years ago, and that one's still going on. Deej, I don't have a friggin' clue. Differ, y'all be safe.
And first off, apparently, if Trump had downloaded the whole thing, for those of you who don't know, the whole thing is apparently about classified documents he may have taken out of the White House.
He is the classifying authority.
We'll stick a pin in that. We'll come back to that real quick. Near as I can tell, if he had downloaded those classified documents through an unsecure server in his bathroom, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. The other thing being,
the FBI covered for.
Yeah. Some GS-13 saying this document is classified does not overrule the President of the United States. Okay.
It would have been different. Let me make a clarifying statement here.
Okay.
It would have been different had he done that after January the 6th. However, everything he moved was before January the 6th.
Right.
So he was still in control and the classifying authority. Trust me, I have dealt for 40 friggin' years with classified documentation. I know that shit inside and out, not by choice.
This is not going to, the only way this affects the midterms, this is not going to result in Democrats winning anything. There's no way this comes out well for the Democrats, period.
Yeah.
If they find something that's actually actionable, you think anybody on the half of the country is going to believe it?
No.
They don't find anything actionable. Now what?
Yeah.
It's not.
But the other thing is, people need to take a step back from the conspiracy theories.
Deep breath.
Civil War is going to start tomorrow.
It might, but it's not necessary.
I don't, everybody is pushing this narrative, and they're going off the deep end on conspiracies.
It's all they've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's looking like we're in a banana republic, and I'll be the first one to admit that.
I've lived in banana republics.
Yeah. I've seen them from the outside. Thank God I was able to leave. But people need to take a chill pill, because if things really go down the rat hole, you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, there's no need for this to lead to civil war.
Right.
It's the FBI being the FBI. I hate to break the news to folks. The FBI's never been squeaky clean.
No.
Frank, take another swig. FBI's been dirty as hell since Hoover created them.
Yep.
There was a brief shining-ish moment during the what's his nuts that cleaned up some burg. The brief shining moment with the FBI was okay. They've been dirty as they get from the get-go. I've never liked the FBI. I don't like the FBI. They're arrogant SOBs. Let's not forget that the FBI has done such wonderful things as the COINTELPRO on Martin Luther King, barbecuing kids at Waco, ignoring a sexual predator rampaging his way through the U.S. women's Olympic team. The FBI is not all that in a bag of chips.
And if you want to go back and look at history, look at what they did against the OSS in World War II. Because Hoover hated Donovan with a passion and did everything he could to undermine the OSS, not only in the United States, but also overseas.
Don't like the FBI, never have. But this is nothing. Okay. Oh my God, the FBI is weaponized. Well, they have been since the get-go. Yeah. Hoover used the FBI as his personal thugs until he died.
Yep.
Okay.
David, that's probably the best point that we can make is a personal test about current events is whether I can do anything about the issue. If I can't, I try not to dwell on it. And that's pretty much where we should be, because in reality, there is not a damn thing that we can do.
Or should do. Let this play out in the courts.
Yeah, Deej. Melvin Purvis says, high number of suspects who committed suicide. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's the last thing I'm going to say about Mar-a-Lago is let this thing play out. It'll take till past November before anything actually happens court-wise. Trust me, I know this.
Yeah.
It'll be a couple years before anything gets anywhere. By that time, the Republicans will be back in control because this was stupid. If somebody in the Democratic Party thought this was a good idea, they can be taken out and beaten with a stick.
Yeah.
This was not a good idea for the Democrats.
Probably the best thing that has happened that Trump did, in my opinion, was the number of judges he got appointed. That may be what saves us.
So I'm not discussing Mar-a-Lago anymore because there's way too much heat, not enough light.
Yeah.
Folks, one, cock up before conspiracy, and two, let it ride. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's not go off half cocked. So moving on to more cheerful things.
Yeah. Yeah, gas has actually come down a few cents.
Yeah. So now we were going for cheerful.
Well, speaking of cheerful, did you see the picture of the woman putting death in her gas tank?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And these people are allowed to drive?
She's not.
Yeah.
She's not driving anywhere right now.
Well, she might have driven 50 feet. Yeah.
So we had a hell of a toad strangler come through about 3:04 a.m. this morning. I know this. We've been in a drought, folks. Oh, speaking of, has anybody checked the Farmer's Almanac? If you haven't,
Yeah.
and the Farmer's Almanac has been a little bit more on point than NOAA. So if you haven't checked the Farmer's Almanac, you might want to, because buy an extra fur coat for this winter. Anyway, 3:04 a.m., the skies opened up, and a lightning bolt hit apparently about 3 feet outside my bedroom window.
Woke your ass up, did it?
Woke up the dogs, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, add to the firewood pile.
Yeah, because I was Farmer's Almanac. I'm about to get rid of my smartphone, by the way. Only good thing about my smartphone right now is there's an app that gives me updates of Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah.
It's an old app, probably doesn't anyway. And they said it's for Pacific Northwest is going to have a brisk but slightly warmer winter, and everybody else you're going to be cold.
Differ, I'm not following you. Where's the closest tank we can get to where y'all are?
Tank?
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Tank is in clank, clank, clank on my tank?
Nancy, she put DEF,
DEF.
DEF in her car. She pulled into a truck stop, and they have actual DEF pumps. And that's what she filled her car up with.
It's an additive based on urea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's blue. It goes in, urea and salt water. It gets sprayed into the into something.
Basically, it's sprayed into the exhaust, and that's what knocks down the black particles.
Oh, a military tank, Fort Sill.
Yeah.
Fort Sill. They have an artillery museum. They've got a couple of museums.
Yeah.
They've got a
Bradley's locked. Ian's already tried it.
It's not a Bradley. It's an M7, not a Bradley.
Whatever.
It's built on a Bradley chassis. That's not a Bradley. Anyway, Fort Sill has several museums, one of which has a whole bunch of armored vehicles.
Yeah. And they also have a bunch of weapons inside.
Fort Sill is a lot closer than Fort Hood, DW.
Yeah. And at least one of the cannons had a Coke can down.
Yeah, it did. One of the
muzzle.
Napoleon cannons, several somebody's, I think,
Yeah.
had loaded Coke cans down the barrel.
Oh.
Yeah, Fort Hood's 4 hours. 4
Yeah,
hours
4
away.
hours away.
And Fort Sill's 45 minutes. So
Yeah, Fort Hood's. But you also got to understand this is Texas. So that's just down the road.
they've driven further for catfish. The great thing about Fort Sill is the Artillery Museum's great. The old Provost Marshal's office or station is really. They actually have allegedly the cell that Geronimo was kept in whenever he got drunk. Is down in the basement, and you can go through and get it. And it's the old cavalry, Fort Sill Cavalry Barracks is a museum.
Yeah.
And then you've got the walk through where I saw what looked like an M3 Bradley that wasn't, and the bastards wouldn't let me in it.
The Russian and German tanks are the bad guys. Yep. And, RK, as far as I know, Geronimo's Cadillac is no longer there. Or if it is, it's hidden away somewhere.
They have the artillery museum. Go through it twice because there are hidden corners.
Yep.
Or there were.
There probably still are.
Yeah. Also, some damn fine fishing out there.
Yep. And that's also, depending on the time of year, they may have the horses out.
Yeah. At the cavalry barracks.
Yeah.
Cavalry barracks is a museum. There's the artillery museum. There's
one of the old houses is a museum.
Yep. Oh yeah. On Officer Row.
Yeah.
And
they're still living in the original officer house.
Yes, they are. The commanding general's house is gorgeous, and he still lives there.
Yep.
From when Fort Sill was
a fort.
Yeah. But it's got really great museums. I don't remember if Fort Hood had museums.
I don't know. I
It's
haven't been. Last time I was in Fort Hood was 40 years ago.
Oh, gods, it's been almost that long for me. Well, there went the bursitis.
Yeah. Yep, that was back in the days when they built real houses.
Oh, they're solid. Woo, they're solid.
Yeah, too many criminals at Hood.
Actually, the provost marshal, there are still arrowheads in the wood frames on the windows.
Yeah. Oh, be careful going to St. Louis and Indy. Do not stay in St. Louis.
I thought they were coming this way.
They're going and then coming
Okay.
back. Fort Concho, yeah, that's a neat one.
I think does Fort Knox still have the Armor Museum, or did that go to Benning?
I don't know. That's Army shit. I have no idea. I'll tell you one you need to see in Texas, though, if you're coming back down this way, is the Museum of the Pacific down in Fredericksburg.
Oh, yes.
That one is, yeah, good call, Differ.
I'm
Oh,
still.
it did move to Benning. Okay, thanks, John.
Yeah, I heard something about moving to Benning.
Yeah.
It used to be at Fort Knox, and there was a really nice one, Aberdeen Proving Grounds. Really nice armor collection, Aberdeen.
Yeah, it was all targets.
Well, actually, it was all test.
Yeah.
All the test ones that they were
Including
testing.
that friggin' monster.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one. We went to play golf up there
I
one time.
fell off of it. I might have been drunk.
Yeah. That is the biggest tank I have ever seen anywhere.
I think the biggest tank in the world at the time,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Honestly, if you've got an extra 4 hours in Texas, it's a Courtney.
Yay.
Go to Canyon and go to Panhandle Plains.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Courtney.
Hello.
Space dinos, because space
Space
dinos.
dinos. You really need a reason for space dinos.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Uh,
Speaking of space dinos,
no, actually, okay, they've got a completely new building across the street now. A friend of mine was involved in doing the audio visuals for that whole new museum.
speaking of space dinos,
Panhandle Plains is definitely on the list.
oh yeah,
Yes.
Panhandle Plains is, of all the museums in Texas I've been to, that is the number one museum so far. And that is in my humble opinion, my opinion only, Panhandle Plains is every bit as good as the Smithsonian and better than some of them.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind the Smithsonian's a chain of museums. Anyway, speaking of space dinos, friend of ours, Manny Ratliff, managed
Yes.
to talk somebody into doing a not space dinos, but it's an anthology about humans and dinos.
Yeah.
So it's on my Facebook page, and I'll do a link on my blog with how to contact them. If you have a story involving dinosaurs and people, run it by them.
Yeah.
She's
When
giggling.
I saw that, the first thing I thought was Chuck Tingle. Here we go again. Texas Ranger Museum is good, John. It's small. It's very small by comparison.
But if you like guns,
Yeah.
if you like pretty guns,
And it has guns that were taken from a number of famous people, including the ones from, oh, hell. I just drew a blank on him. Who were the ones that were,
Bonnie and Clyde.
yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. Thank you. Bonnie and Clyde had a literal armory in the back seat of that
No
car.
kidding.
Sean, the museum center at Cody has a number of interesting weapons. A lot of those are presentation weapons, and the Cody Museum does an excellent job with it.
I've never been to Cody, so I don't really have a comparison. But Panhandle Plains is fantastic.
But what you see at Panhandle Plains and what you see in the Texas Ranger museums are basically, they're basically working weapons that have been brought back and and are used and are donated?
Texas has supplied, Texas and the South supply a significant part, I always have, of the combat arms part of the military.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Southern culture being Northern culture and all that, Texas being just as bad, supplied a significant part of combat arms part of the military. And the cowboys out in West Texas kept their bringbacks.
Yeah.
And then a lot of those bringbacks got donated.
Yeah.
There are more STG 44s.
There are 3 STG 44s lined up down in the basement.
There are more STG 44s at Panhandle Plains than there are at than the Small Arms Museum at Aberdeen Proving Grounds.
They are not decommed, and they are 3 variants from the 3 different manufacturers, which is kind of interesting.
I know where we're going for the zombie apocalypse.
Richard, I know the Gangster Museum in Hot Springs claims that. However, Bonnie and Clyde's actual car disappeared in the 1940s and has never actually been seen again. There are, that I remember, at least 3 or 4 cars that people claim in various museums were the actual car.
There's actually, in somebody's memoirs, a later sheriff of that county bought a car, took it out, shot it full of holes, and then was selling tickets that sit in Bonnie and Clyde's car for $2.
Yeah. And he used pig blood to replicate the spatter patterns.
I forget. Somebody was telling me, was it you? Somebody was telling me about the, I forget who the hell it was. My think puddings turned tapioca about taking a female acquaintance of whom he had designs upon to the marker where Bonnie and Clyde got ambushed, and her asking, well, why didn't they drive away? He said, what? He said, well, the signs there saying this is where the ambush is.
That was not me. DW, actually, he did have a V8, and Clyde Barrow had actually written a letter to Henry Ford complimenting on the power of the Ford V8, which he, how did he say it in the letter? Something about procured them on a regular basis.
That's a vicious giggle.
Yeah.
I just think that quite the balls on that man.
Apparently. No, if you want to see tanks pop up to Fort Sill, 45 minutes away, it's just outside of Lawton.
Yeah.
There are other really good museums there. And then there's Medicine Park and the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. Do not pet the fluffy yeet cows.
Yeah.
Wichita Mountains has a fairly significant herd of fluffy yeet cows. And the Wildlife Refuge, being a refuge, is surrounded by a big fence and has a road going through it. So as you're driving through the Wildlife Refuge, the yeet cows are wandering around.
Along with longhorns.
Longhorns and elk. Fluffy yeet cow is an American bison, aka a buffalo. We call them fluffy yeet cows because of the number of TikTok videos of idiots getting launched.
Yeah.
Because they went out to pet the fluffy yeet cow.
They will eat you. They can't digest you, but they will try to eat you.
They will stomple you flat. Matt Hambright, Reno, and I used to go up to Wichita Mountains quite a bit, and Chris. We used to hike up there quite a bit, and we'd drive through, and during mating season, inevitably, we'd be driving along the main road through the Wildlife Refuge, and Matt would reach up, tap me, and say, all right, dial 911. You look over, and there'd be some idiot tourist with a phone 6 feet in front of a yeet cow going click, click, and you've got this bull going, the fuck is that? I'm ready. And as soon as, all right, we're done. One. Hey, you need
McChuck, fluffy yeet cow needs to be a sticker. Or a coin. There you go, Courtney. That's the next one.
I like it. I'll make it.
Yeah.
Some friends of my family growing up used to raise buffalo. And they were the meanest
Oh,
Sons of bitch.
one of the dude ranches where in the first bunk scuffle, was a dude ranch, and they had a male bison, American buffalo, and I hated that thing because he was basically a pet. But he'd get bored every now and then. He'd walk up to a 6-strand barbed wire fence, put his chest against it, ponder for a bit, and then start walking and tear down 100 yards of fence. I had to put the son of a bitch back.
Yeah, right. You were going to put him back by yourself. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Um,
Pull the other one. It's got bells on it.
There on your Be-Do box, there's a button affectionately referred to as the idiot mover. You hit the idiot mover button and the air horn goes off. And fluffy eat cows, this one in particular, are used to a pickup driving up next to them. They're not used to the air horn.
So they turn around and charge it and put how big a dent in the truck?
You hit the idiot mover and fluffy eat cow will take off. And if you're in the right direction, he'll run back onto the ranch land.
Yeah, they will definitely go where they want to go.
As far as nothing in Texas being pettable, that's
Pretty much true.
debatable. I am given to understand that
If you have to think about it, no, you don't want to pet it.
I'm given to understand the Waco Longhorn Spa and Retirement Center
Yeah,
has longhorns that are pettable.
no.
Yeah, fluffy eat cow. I call them fluffy eat cows because the first time I saw one of those TikTok videos of somebody getting launched about 20 feet in the air, I referred to it as, oh, look, fluffy eat cow. And Rita started giggling and couldn't stop for 15 minutes. So, by God, they're fluffy eat cows.
Yeah, Rick, we're not as bad as Australia because not everything here is trying to kill us. In Australia, that is pretty much the truth, including the friggin' rabbits down there. Anything that's pettable once. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. One time, good deal.
I had a sticker for my car that I have since lost. I need to find it again. It says, "Do not pet the fluffy teddy bears."
Yeah.
I have to find it again.
Drop bears. Yeah. RK, you're a special case because you feed your supper before you. Yeah, never mind.
Speaking of, we need to get Rupert this.
Yeah, I know.
Rupert's getting geriatric, and I need to thump him.
Yeah. December can't come soon enough. Yeah, Jesse. That's pretty much true in most of the western states. The wildlife just really wants to be left the hell alone. And if you do that, you won't have a problem.
So I just got a text.
That somebody has got the T-shirt already.
Oh, what the hell? Really? They just left off yeet cow.
Yeah.
It's a yeet cow. There's much like trash pandas, they're now yeet cows.
Yeah.
I have spoken.
Sorry, differ. St. Louis doesn't like much of anybody.
St. Louis doesn't like St. Louis.
Yeah. So anyway, Courtney,
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
if you have questions about the Moggies in Space anthology, Courtney,
so ask them in the chat.
stop asking me.
Yeah, she's sitting right here. Yeet cow, cobra chicken, trash pandas. Yeah.
Mhm.
Fluffy yeet cow. I did not realize Owl Park had a zoo, by the way.
What?
Yeah, Owl Park's got a zoo.
Where?
It's on Facebook. Damn if I know, but it's on Facebook because they got hacked. It was all over the news there for a bit.
Somebody's backyard. They're just trying to make money off of us.
Either that or the kids are feral.
It is Owl Park.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, cobra chickens are better known as geese.
Geese. And cobra chicken's a much better description.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, swans. Yeah, swans have got a longer reach with that damn neck.
It's a blanket fort, not a zoo.
Hey,
Just
6
don't-
of one, half a dozen the other.
Don't
Yeah.
tap on the glass. You will surprise the denizens.
Oh, it's zoo adjacent. Oh, thank you very much.
And please do feed the zoo animals, especially coffee.
Coffee's important.
Speaking of, I put a coffee button on my blog. Took me 2 hours wading through HTML, but it's there. And somebody's already bought me a cup of coffee.
Oh.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, Bill. Swans are definitely as vicious as
Swans have killed people before.
yeah, they are as vicious as Canadian geese.
They're worse. Yeah, swans are actually man killers. Pickle coffee? No. No.
Oh, Bill, you finally got to try it out, so you like it, huh? Swans are just geese in couture.
Swans are bigger than geese.
They can be. Oh yeah. Oh.
Pickle juice beer and pickle juice popsicles, well, pickle coffee, because no. Moving on. Garlic ice cream. What the hell are you people?
That's Korean.
Oh,
Well, that explains a lot.
garlic ice cream is a big thing at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. I can say that.
Ugh. 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 Ugh.
The bad part is when you have to fly out the Sunday that the festival ends, and the guy sitting next to you has been at the festival for 3 days.
And you know it.
Oh God, do you know it? And you get wherever you're going, and you now smell like garlic because he's been outgassing for 5 hours.
Okay. For those of you who do not know, Rita and I are garlic people. If a recipe calls for garlic, you start with 1 clove per person attending and a clove for the pot and go up from there. So I don't want to hear about it. Because garlic is life.
Yeah.
I am never, ever going to be attacked by a vampire.
RK, he just comes over and cooks at my house, so my house smells like garlic for a week.
1 clove per person you're expecting to feed, plus 1 for the pot, and that's baseline.
DW, that is true. And one of the towns that gets to enjoy the garlic festival is Carmel, and they don't like it.
Speaking of, for those of you who do not know, Small Town, Texas is a official sanctioned bird sanctuary, because which means that it is officially you're not allowed to disturb nests or whack birds.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell my Chiweenie, but never mind. Anyway.
Yes, including doves, Jay.
The in-town city lake developed a goose population to the point that there were 100 or more geese out there in a not very big lake. And so some state biologists came out and trying to figure out why the hell nothing would grow in the lake, and discovered that the top 3 feet of the bottom of the lake was goose doings.
Yeah.
So they were quietly informed to do something about this issue. And they were, in turn, placed on notice that we were a bird sanctuary. Well, police department got involved, and a whole bunch of geese went to live in the country.
Yeah.
And Jim and I were out doing something, and pull up beside a PD cruiser, friend of ours in a PD cruiser here. And we look across the lake, and there's this white van that probably should have had free candy on the side. And it is pulled up on the far side of the lake, and there's a flock of geese. There's still quite a bit of geese. And as we're looking, the side door opens, and this axe handle flies out and hits a goose in the neck, just breaks it 90 degrees. And somebody snatches the goose inside, shuts the door, and putters off. We look over at our friend and say, "Hey, what's up?" He said, "You didn't see a thing, neither did I." And we're pretty sure that guy fed his family for about 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
because the goose population has steady decline.
Yep, and I saw him a couple more times on our side of the lake when I was driving by. You know, and it should say free candy on the side. It's a nasty thing. Punt gun and a skiff.
Because the geese around here are so used to, they'll walk up and hiss at you.
Yeah.
So he'd pull up and there'd be a whole bunch of geese. Like, you're in our territory. Whack, yank, drive off.
Yeah. McChuck, I saw one up in Chesapeake. Damn it, I can't remember the name of that little museum now. Anyway, it's right out of Chesapeake Bay that had a 4-bore punt gun for shooting birds.
There are actually quarter bore
Yeah.
punt guns,
Yeah.
which takes a 4-pound lead ball.
In Texas, it doesn't say free candy.
Free
Yeah,
ammo.
free
These days, not wrong. But show me ammo first. I'm not stupid.
First I get the ammo, then I get in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me ammo first, then I'll get in the van. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Not going with it. Speaking of ammo, that actually price on that's actually starting to come down a little bit too.
Yeah,
Finally.
finally.
And the availability's up. And that's partially because Remington got the other plant back online.
Finally. And
Yeah.
actually, they're apparently Remington's turning out some good QC ammo.
Yay, finally.
Finally. Remington's ammo had some quality control issues there for a while. Their core locked.
For a while.
Their core locked has been
Try 30 fucking years.
their core locked has been the benchmark for hunting ammo for a long time. Core locked.
Everything else sucked.
Core lock there was
Yeah.
sucking hind tit there for a while too.
But you could, when you call Lone Oak, said, "Hey, I need the ballistics," and they go, "Oh, we can't give you that."
And Jim and Kelly and I were talking to Winchester rep at LibertyCon. We run into the weirdest people.
Yeah.
We're with Jim. And he was
Everybody
telling,
knows Jim.
yeah, everybody knows Jim. So Winchester rep was telling us that they've doubled down on the QC on their ammo too. So
Yeah, David.
I am working hard, not breaking anybody today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new Winchester ammo, or Winchester, bloody hell, the new Remington ammo is looking like good stuff.
Yep, that's 45 out of Lone Oaks. I would check, make sure, because they were known for either hard primers or soft primers. And hey, you made it around. Good, Difford.
Yeah, Winchester's white box quality control was non-existent there for a long time.
Yeah.
We were talking to the rep, and he found out who we were. It still freaks me the hell out. And asked what we thought of. Asked me what my agency issue ammo was. And I told him and said we had some
Whatever's cheap.
had some real issues with Winchester white box. And he said, "Okay, we're working on that. Thank you."
Oh, Fiocchi, yeah, has hard primers. God, yes, they're hard.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing about Fiocchi is the powder that they use. So Fiocchi is primarily training ammo.
Yeah.
But with the powder that they use, the recoil kick you get is the same as what you would get from a home defense round or a hollow point, jacketed hollow point. Just one of those odd little touches.
Yeah, my last qualification at the SO before I retired, I had a round, and I was running through qualification, and it wouldn't go into battery. My Glock wouldn't go into battery, so I tap rack kept on going, picked it up, like what the hell? Ran it back in the magazine. I figured, I don't know, it happens. Ran it back in the magazine. And the next course of fire, it wouldn't go in the battery again. So I just automatically kicked it out, kept going. And I was catching some major ration of crap from Rangemaster. So I picked up, handed him, and said, "You try it." And he put it in his SIG 320, I think.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't go in the battery. So we took it out, and the 9x19 case was 9x20.
Yeah.
And it was Winchester white box, and it had a case that was 1 millimeter too damn long.
RK, it's BNSF up here.
Yeah, it's automatic. After all these years, it's automatic. I squeezed the trigger, it was mushy. I just tap rack and kept going.
Yeah.
Because you don't leave live rounds on the range floor if you're gonna avoid it.
Bill just brought up an excellent point.
What was that?
If you're running HSTs or for social ammo,
Yeah,
you want to get the same grain because you want to get the point of impact, point of aim,
yes. You do
the
that.
same on
You
both
do
of them.
that with anything.
Yeah.
Any training ammo needs to be the same weight. I run 124 grain plus P ammo out of my 9mm. I run 147 grain plus P out of Rita's PCC. And so training ammo is for my pistols is 124 grain plus P full metal jacket, because I want it to be as close to dead on as the duty ammo is.
Yeah, David, it should be the same, but the felt recoil will actually be different. What I would suggest, if you want to verify that, is get a box of Fiocchi and a box of Winchester white box that are the identical, and go shoot them. Oh God,
That's from
Courtney
Yeah.
is still stuck on fluffy eat cows.
Wheels on this one. He sent that to me.
Yeah, the burn rate of the powder can change the felt recoil. Yeah, that 50 grain 9mm. Yeah, no.
Felt recoil, the recoil impulse is a function of pressure.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Yeah, David, you're right. The recoil force is going to be the same, but the felt recoil is going to be different.
Recoil impulse is going to be different. Recoil impulse is going to be different.
Yeah. I'm trying to not. I do not want to go down this friggin' rat hole, okay?
Speaking of, there's going to be a panel at FinCon.
Yes.
It's probably going to devolve into this very discussion.
Yeah.
So y'all, if this interests you, you might want to come to FinCon.
Yeah. Yes, it's a different impulse peak, and it comes quicker with Fiocchi.
It's a different impulse curve.
Peak curve. Stop it. We can have this discussion in depth. There.
Oh, we will. Let's see here.
Oh, man, I think we're done.
Oh, we are. Bloody
Federal low
hell.
recoil ammo. Yeah, that's true too.
Especially the shotguns. Holy crap. Have you tried federal or the low
Yeah,
low
it's
recoil
not.
12 gauge?
Yeah.
Ah!
Blow my ass.
Yeah. And I used to run shotgun all the time. Shotgun used to be my favorite social tool. I took one of Bill Jean's shotgun classes and fell in love with a Mossberg 500. And I've fired a lot of 12 gauge, and my shoulders don't like me, so I don't do much 12 gauge anymore because damn.
Yeah. All right, folks, we wasted an hour of your time, and we're not going down the ammo rat hole any further.
Keep notes for next week. It's all right.
Oh God.
You ain't running a gun right. Bill, it doesn't matter how you're running it. You put that many rounds downrange, and it was Bill Jeans. We put a crap ton of rounds downrange, slugs. It's gonna chew you up. Push pull. We didn't have push pull 20 years ago. That's a modern thing, which I need to go ahead and take those boys' course on the.
Yeah.
I forgot their name. I've forgotten names. Bill, help me out. Push pull, which I've forgotten who the.
Oh crap! I don't remember.
The Hots.
Yeah.
The Hots. I need to take one of their. I need to take one of their courses.
All right, folks, we're done. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
Especially the fluffy yeet cows.
Stay away from fluffy eat cows.
Bye bye.